I have a very simple question. Does this sound smart to you? Am I gonna learn anything from that video in particular? Or this is just stupid? I will give you some information on how to keep your sanity. It's very different from copium, but first you need to cope. You need to understand that the future is bright. Build awareness on a lot of things that you're dealing with. You don't have to do much at all. You don't have to be serious. And just like the sleep guy that we actually explored in here, don't tense yourself up because resting is also productive. But right now, we need to also boost sanity. All right? Episode 43 of Max Stats. One Joe Rogan episode is 10 times more popular and powerful, basically has 10 times more attention than 2 years, 3 years on YouTube that I've invested. Why is that? Well, YouTube is stupid. People are attracted to stupid. I'm not saying Joe Rogan is stupid, but most of the time it is. It is stupid. It's like podcast is not even like a constructed environment where you're supposed to learn things. No, you're just trying to uh, squeeze a person. It's like a live performance for 3 hours that you're just squeezing a person for all the goodies that they have, and it's just a phenomenon. Phenomenons are stupid. People are attracted to stupid. It's very unfortunate, and that's one of the things that will sink your sanity really badly. Most of the popular things can still be stupid. Most of the phenomena can still be stupid. Then the question is like, what is the significance of this, right? The moment you understand the significance of this, like IShowSpeed visited my country, all right? It has some significance of like, here's a popular guy that can actually produce a mass psychosis. Everyone is like obsessed of like, oh my god, what is he gonna do now? Where is he gonna go? And he didn't do much, like tasted food or whatever. It's like, it's not that big of a deal. Tasted a bit of a culture. Fucking Europe tour, bro. And actually, he's using the Mr. Beast strategy of getting the whole world to like him. Because that will make him look popular. 50 million subscribers? Wow. He's technically the most popular on Twitch, right? So it is what even Pokimane got to complain about it. Give me a break. And do you think Pokimane is smart? There's something smart about it, but that doesn't mean that you're not attracted to stupid when you watch this stuff. You just like recognize of like he been there, he done these things. It is probably like 20 minutes and you're done. You don't need to watch any more of this, right? Because it's technically a historical moment and people do have to be obsessed to some extent. Like that's just what it is. That's what mass psychosis is people want to touch the culture, basically be a part of the culture, so they can at least understand the reference. Like most of the language we use is through events like these, right? I can use this as a reference to something potentially in the future, not right now, but like this just shows that like people are trying to do stupid. Like, are you really just gonna stand there and see nothing, do nothing in a crowd of people? What does that mean? And you potentially traveled all the way like with a backpack, like just fucking crazy. So what happened there? You know, you have all kinds of concerts where people go to get what exactly? What is that significance of the event? Do people actually get relationships in there? I haven't heard of that, to be honest. I don't do that, and I haven't heard of it. And otherwise, like, People would give it as an advice, but people don't want to talk either. If people don't talk to each other, they become stupid, they get attracted to stupid. And where's the stupid? Society is simplified by money. That's where stupid actually is. Everything is simplified as long as you have money and popularity or whatever. Just basic things, basic numbers. It allows you to be stupid, so you would be attracted to that. It's like this. It's a safe haven. You know? How do I get money? How do I get money? It distracts you from interacting with smart people. Smart people can save you a lot of money if you interact with someone like me. If you go outside of society and try and find smart people. Which you did, you're watching this video, congratulations. You're doing it. So avoiding stupid is just groundbreaking principle, and there's just 1 out of 4 things that will boost your sanity. Let's find out how stupid his video actually is. Because again, it surpassed my channel. My channel is at 180,000 views in total. And this guy surpassed it just like that in 12 hours. How should I feel about it, right? Not only he surpassed that, he surpassed all the feedback, all the positivity, easily surpassed all the good things from YouTube in just 12 hours that I needed to grind for, needed to work really hard for. This guy just gets it for free because people are mass psychosis around something. And this happens over and over again on YouTube, like over and over, uncontrollably. It never fucking stops. Like, I am better than Joe Rogan. I cast better podcasts. I actually care about the audience learning more things. But why am I not popular? But people don't like change. They're trying to be stupid, and they don't want to actually admit that that's what they are doing. They're not allergic to stupid, unfortunately. So, they're gonna suck in that Joe Rogan stuff. And I'm starting to see that I'm being rejected 3 times now. Alright? People don't acknowledge me even as like a new caster. I'm a nobody. I'm just fully rejected. This one, you get accepted. You get accepted during capitalism, but every single time it ends with a disaster. First of all, school ends with a disaster of like, what the fuck do I do now? Like, it ends with a panic attack. That's what school happened to do to me, right? After 12 years of me doing school, I'm like, what the fuck do I do? Like, I contact my friend of like, oh, we're going to that other place, and it's like, oh, we're not doing that. Your plan fucking failed. And it's like, bro, I relied on you. And now just like I can't go to college anymore. It's like, that was my plan. Fuck. Like, he ruined things for me, but at the same time, it's like a nice little disaster, you know? Like just gotta appreciate it for what it is. It's a disaster, and I have to boost my ego. I cannot be just like getting a college degree. In my country, it's free. I can't just grab that and become something. I can't. I gotta move on to the next thing, right? So what is the next thing? I go to UK, right? We finished school and we failed. We failed finishing school. The 12 years of school, and it's like you give me no future. You give me nothing. You just give me 4 more years of school somewhere else. And I tried, guys. I tried to accept that. It probably wouldn't have crafted me as a different person necessarily, but it's something. So school, right? The shit that people start with. The next thing I went into is UK, and I thought there's going to be a future in there, but it ended in a disaster. And now the part of the disaster was with my dad. That was a part of it, right? He kind of made things worse. He kind of took money from me. And after losing enough jobs and losing my sanity, because I'm still fucking fighting things alone, if anything goes wrong or you get enslaved by rent, and you lose your job, like, you can't stay there for long. Like, you have to go back. You gotta go one step back. So there's no actually security in there. If you fail, you fail. All right. And unfortunately, it ended with a failure. I have to go next level. If I go next level past this one, if I have failed, and how long can I fail for, right? How long can I try on YouTube to be like the newscast, to be YouTube CEO, where I'm just like delivering all the information the person needs to truly rise up and fight the system, fight the broken system, expose the broken system, right? I'm trying to give that information, but first of all, it comes from, me talking to myself and improving myself and focusing on, like, back in the day, I was focusing on what is bullshit. I'm able to, like, now we're talking about my identity, right? Bullshit is right here. Is 11th video. I was able to pull bullshit up there. Autism is bullshit. My greatest identity comes from Minecraft. Minecraft, what it did is one of those miracles of, like, I'm a part of mainstream without even knowing that it's gonna work out that way. It's something I mentioned last episode, but it's crazy how Minecraft became popular, and I was a part of it from, like, almost day one. Like, my friend just recommends that thing, and it's like, wow, it is becoming popular, isn't it? And it's exactly the game that I was looking for. Like, I was attracted to Minecraft before Minecraft even existed. And the funny thing is, Minecraft didn't even give me what I wanted. I wanted to dig and sell sell the things I find in the caves. Maybe I kill some mobs, and I sell all the things, basically, that I collect. And that still doesn't exist in Minecraft. It's hard to make. But that's why I have Creeper's Forge Legacy, basically, slapped on my channel, so I never forget of what I try to do. I try to, conjure up that version of Minecraft that I truly wanted to have day one. We got like 50% there, but Notch had other ideas, right? So, of course, that's the whole thing. That is going to frustrate a lot of people. Things are not going to go your way all the time. When it comes to YouTube, we are approaching a limit, basically, of how long I can just sit around and wait for success to happen, how many things I can try, until I realize that there might be something better for me. I have to fundamentally change my direction in life and realize that I have been, rejected, and there's nothing I can do anymore. Yes, it feels good to get some views, but the funny thing is that shit dried up as well, really badly as well. Like, imagine fucking getting 10 views a video on average. I don't know what my average is. It is quite relevant to know. My average, I should probably feed into some kind of system, right? Of like, what is my average view count? Potentially ignoring these kind of videos, but I can't. I can't ignore successes. Like, they supplement the videos that didn't perform very well. And that's technically what I should focus on in the first place. But I still need to know what's the average. And is average going down? Should I give up on this? Am I being rejected? I need to calculate that shit in order to be able to save my sanity and move to the next level. But I also need to know what my next level actually is. What my godlike behavior is supposed to do. Well, I think I know, like, I have to just work a lot. And YouTube might no longer be a part of my work anymore. Besides YouTube Rewind, it seems like a honorable thing to give to the people. our YouTube Rewind attempt. Just anything that has cultural significance, it will inspire me to do more things. I'm not letting that go. But everything else I can let go. I can shut down my YouTube operation and just let go. Again, the funny thing is, if I do that, people will think there's something stupid about it, right? And they will start double checking of like, why is this guy not uploading anymore? When I'm constantly uploading, when I'm constantly active, people get nauseous, basically, trying to comprehend what's going on, and they just like, it's too smart for me. It's too complicated for them. So they stay away. People are generally very afraid of smart things. They wait for things to get stupid to be attracted to that thing, right? Then it's a lot easier to take the change because the change is so simple, right? It's always just that other person that became popular because of that other thing, right? And now we're collectively doing this because to do something collectively is fairly stupid, but if people decide to do that, most other people can't resist. It is what it is. They have to start from somewhere. They have to be stupid somewhere. There's always going to be enough little children who are stupid enough to be attracted to stupid things, and it's like completely justified. What is not justified is for grown-ups to be attracted to stupid things, right? That's not justified anymore. So, looking back, it's very interesting how I craft my identity of everything that I put up on YouTube. Like, I'm grinding that shit right now. The most recent adventures went up to 9 and 11. No, it actually occupies all of these. 9, 10, and 11. It's still pretty good. 9, 10, 11, 5. It is nice to just meditate on something like this, meditate on your achievements. I actually need to add it on like a bonus list up here. Now, the funny thing is we have to get one thing out of the way. COVID. Is COVID smart, or did we started just randomly testing people? What if we started testing people for autism? How much autism we would find? Should we panic about autism now? Just because we're finding more and more autism. Look at, it's pandemic, but we just started testing people. You know, that's the funny thing is. If we started testing people for stupidity, I would love that. But it's like, oh my god, it's pandemic of stupidity. You just uncovered something. So COVID, I don't trust it one bit, bro. That was like a real thing. It's a well-crafted lie. It's easy to make society panic after all. Imagine, you know? Like, people want to simplify life so much. If you have money, you have no problems. So any sort of disease is gonna like throw people off course. I also do feel like I can provide to society, but the moment I ask for something is unlikely that I'm gonna get it, right? And that's just like cold rejection of like, yes, I can contribute to society, but maybe I should stop as eventually, right? Maybe I should just give little nuggets every now and then for people who still remember that I exist, for people who attach themselves in any significant way. Then they will collectively, you know, enjoy the videos or something. That's just the consequence of not bombarding your fans too often and making them feel like they're connected to each other. That would be an interesting thing to observe. But for me, I'm just like, just hurry up. But maybe people don't have that much energy to hurry up. I don't know. But so far, what I contribute, like, has no feedback. Which is like, how the fuck do anyone survive like this? No feedback? Like, when you inspect the success of Notch, you do see a person who entered society and now is like, he found a safe haven. People built a safe haven for him. They gave him a lot of money for the game, for the troubles of like, wow, you gave us this phenomenon. People are willing to do that for other smart people. That is something to be acknowledged. If you build something important, then people are going to give you a safe haven. And that's that. And they're going to try to respect you as much as possible, as long as you are a simple person. Nothing too complicated. I am, unfortunately, a complicated person. Or I so imagine. Like, I'm not going to be attracted to capitalism and simplification of things. I am in the process of, like, trimming myself as much as possible, right? Focusing on better and higher quality things. Sure. That's just what happens when you improve yourself. This wasn't used to be in the past. Like, smart people would be listened to back in the day. They would have influence automatically, because that's just what you do. You listen to smart people. Of like, you have any ideas? Oh yeah, I have an idea. It used to be possible to be that person who has ideas in a room of people who don't have ideas. And all of a sudden people will listen to you of like, yeah, we have to consider your idea, dude. Until it turned into like just book writing, and it turned into commercial, basically a lifestyle. And slowly, smart people were isolated. Like, even book writing is isolation. You can just sit in your room, write a book, release a book, and still nobody fucking knows your face, potentially. Nothing about you. You just have a book released, and maybe someone is gonna read it and buy it. But that's about it. It's just mind-blowing how weird it is, right? Just all of a sudden, the moment book writing is available, you can just isolate yourself, never to be seen again. Normally, smart people would not be isolated, but here it comes. Here comes the capitalism. Here comes people trying to sell books instead of their identity for being smart. So the world fundamentally changed. And this is something, again, you have to ground yourself for. You have to see all the changes in order to claim your sanity back. See the changes. See how the world works. Then you'll understand why you're not successful. It's a lot easier to comprehend. So yeah, we'll figure this out. Some people are not rejected from YouTube. Some people are maintaining their success. And I don't know how to feel about it. I'm starting to question this very heavily. But I have to let it go right now. One last thing to say is, like, again, I'm comparable to Joe Rogan. I'm comparable to any podcast out there. I don't know how many podcasts there are that care about self-improvement as much. Or are you just going to listen to a doctor? Well, I'm going to debunk a doctor too. I'm going to attack a doctor channel very soon. But what you think is a downside of, like, I don't have Joe Rogan's face? Is that a downside? I don't project my own face. Is that a downside? Probably not. Like, you gotta try and flip the downsides. To get more sanity, flip downsides. Is it a downside that you don't have a girlfriend, or an upside? Most people would say it's an upside to be single. Because you get to be attracted to anyone you want. You know, you get to make your moves. You don't have to be fixated on one person that might not be good for you. You know, and you have to appreciate every single story that comes out that tells you of people failing to get a good girlfriend or whatever. Here comes appreciation. So we talked about stupid things, which we're gonna get to, like, the bonus meme. Like, I don't want to fucking spend time watching him eating tacos, but it's an interesting ending to the story, right? It's an interesting teasing of like, how stupid is that video? Exactly. But right now, appreciate anyone who complains of like, I couldn't make this relationship work. I was entangled with a shitty person, blah, blah, blah. They live, they fail, so you don't have to, right? You can appreciate a lot of stuff. Most importantly, appreciate the opposite gender of like where it is, what it's doing, what are the most successful women. You gotta appreciate that shit. I do that all the time. I can summon one right now. Yeah. Wow, it's small Victoria. Get out of here. Appreciation over. But yeah, if you see something you like, and you're probably gonna see it in the other gender and like fantasize of a romance or whatever, that you are allowed to take time on that. Most of the time you're running, you're working, you're doing intense things, but you're allowed to slow down for the appreciation. This is the thing that it will kill your burnout when you're allowed to appreciate something. Even the addiction that I explained, right? It is part of the process of appreciating. So I talked about my addiction. Nobody fucking clicked on it, by the way. So I guess I lose. But no, I talk about appreciating some of the addictions because they're gonna come and go. Like you're gonna master something, you're gonna push it aside to where you can't beat it anymore. You can't beat your own world's record sometimes. And that's it. End of story. You appreciate it. You did your thing. You had your addiction. You almost like you have plenty of time to try and kill your addiction through just force alone. Just pushing through it. Of like, I will drink until I fucking collapse, bro. I will drink until it fucking hurts. And it doesn't taste, it tastes like shit. I'll drink all the time just to see what happens. It's a stupid thing, like obviously don't do poison. But that's what a push through it method would look like. You set yourself a reasonable goal and you push through it. You're trying to reach it as best as you can. Whether you fail or win, it doesn't matter. There's still a limited amount of time you can dedicate to that thing. So it's nice to have a goal and time limit. But appreciation alone can actually, and then time limit, right? Appreciation alone happens to be a really powerful principle. I'll appreciate what you have. Even if it looks bad, you can flip the downside. You can flip it. You think you're single, flip that downside. You think you're too unemployed, too big of an insult. There is an upside to it. And potentially it's greater than the upside of doing the opposite. Of going outside all the time. Do people have an upside of touching grass too much? Or is it all fake, you know? Is it all fake because it's built out of frustration of people just spending too much time on the internet? Huh? Someone has to come in and try and shake you off from spending time where you're not confident about. If you're not confident about something, you probably shouldn't be doing that thing. But if you're confident, you can appreciate it, right? And again, there's two more principles that are just as powerful at bringing your sanity back up. Insanity fixed by a reset. I love this shit so much. You must understand that this video took 3 resets already. And I think this one is looking good. Looking good so far. I think this one is going to work out. See, all you have to do is calm down, take a break, take a little bit of rest, reset as much as possible to bring back your sanity. That's another way of doing things. Really cool, right? Again, resting is productive. Resetting yourself away from sanity will allow you to make good decisions and avoid future problems, conflicts, you name it, and making relationships with bad people. Oopsies. Especially right now, like, you need sanity to avoid stupidity. Chasing stupid things, like, can drain so much of your life. The things you're chasing is supposed to be your level, supposed to be appropriate to you. And there's no better way to do it. You just you toss something in the trash, just like you see a bunch of writers, they crumble a piece, they toss it in the trash, restart all over again. And it's like, but you ruined such a precious thing. Why can't you just fix it? No, it's faster to just reset the whole thing. Because you're trying to reach that flow state. And if you make a mistake, then potentially mistakes happen throughout the entire journey, not just one place. Like, if you end up in a crash, there were many mistakes made alongside the road. And this is like the most important self-improvement ever. You don't want to live in insanity. You want to have the right mindset of doing things the right way, because you will remember it, of how you did it. You also have to approach things the right way so you can improve the things you're doing. If you're not programming the correct way, you can improve that. If you're not exercising the correct way, you're gonna catch yourself more often. But if you just do insanity, you're not gonna care too much at all. It's not gonna fix your future. It's not gonna have a lasting impact if you're just gonna do a stupid thing right now just to get it out of the way. You can only shower yourself for so long. You can only you can only brush your teeth for so long. You can only lift weights for so long until that stupid thing doesn't work anymore. It doesn't give you what you actually need, and you still get lost. But I did everything I was supposed to do, and it's like you missed something. Unfortunately, you went insane. You just used principles that other people are using and forgot to fix your problem that only you have. Alright? Potentially. For me, like, the days fly by so fast. I can't find time to just brush my teeth, take a shower. There's no time for that. I'm gonna go to sleep soon. I'll do that thing soon. Right? I also live in a confined space. I don't socialize. And a lot of things people do comes from social pressure, which is not healthy for you. You know, because it's not reasonable. You can soak in a lot of insanity from just the outside world by accident, so now you have to go and reset yourself. One of the most insane things is voting, is choosing between two parties. Do you want to eat broccoli or rocks? You know? And I think I know what you're gonna choose. If you choose, right? So of course you're gonna eat broccoli, not rocks. It would be really stupid to eat rocks, wouldn't it? And try to avoid that shit. And congratulations, you're eating broccoli now. What happened to you? A friend is gonna, do you like pizza? No, I'm busy eating broccoli. What the fuck is that, bro? Broccoli, bro? What is wrong with you? So politics is built on this premise, on the biggest lie ever told, is here, choose between this and that, and the actual realities that none of that even matters. When it came to voting for Eurovision song in my country, to elect the Eurovision song, there were 2,000 vote difference. Am I gonna bridge the difference? Should I vote? It's a gamble, you know? It's gambling, apparently, and I'm not gonna do the gambling, and I'm seeing like 2,000 point difference. This gambling is probably not worth it. Alright? And even then, voting shouldn't be gambling in the first place. So even if it is 1 or 2 votes difference, it's still gonna make you feel weird, you know? Of like, what? One person could have just changed their minds and decided the outcome? Like, what? So the funny thing is, you are insignificant and there's no reason to vote. People are going to be compelled to vote for their things, to support their things, but there's no reason to do that. You vote by clicking on my video and watching it. That's how you vote. You vote with your dollar. You vote with real decisions, not with fucking fake ones, where you're forced to choose. Never accept force like that. Never do that. You can't vote. You're not allowed. This will, again, alleviate a lot of your suffering, a lot of your insanity, a lot of the political shit of like, you don't choose between 2 parties, don't choose to be a part of anything. Now, we have to collapse this to a satisfying conclusion, right? It is racism. What's racism about it? Like, if you want to avoid stupid, you avoid hate. Most importantly, avoid negativity. That's the stupidest thing ever, right? Even I'm not that hateful most of the time. And some people will not be able to avoid hate. And too bad. Too bad, my friends. I will hate your favorite YouTuber and get away with it. Because you're the problem anyways. You're the consumer are the problem. Because it's so simple for you of like, I hated your favorite YouTuber, now you have to retaliate or something. It's simple to you, but it's stupid in general. So, to avoid stupid, you have to avoid hate. That's the most important thing, because is the thing that steals a lot of time and makes you really wonder about stupid shit. I didn't thought of like how impactful society is on other people's lives, how they just suck you in, how much manipulation can actually happen. And the voting system puts that to the next level, right? Because it constantly approaches you and asks for who you voted for. And it's, I can't vote. Like, I cannot vote. I cannot vote because that's not going to make a difference. My vote will not make a difference. There's nothing you can say to me to tell me that it will make a difference. It's not going to make a difference. I'm sorry, bro. That's not where the difference comes. Don't come at me and ask me for a vote that will make a difference. I don't have one. All right? So if my vote doesn't make a difference, then shut the fuck up. All right? Don't waste my time. You know? That's the attitude that you have to have. Politics is the biggest waste of fucking time, which has to be natural, feel like natural rejection to you. Like, they're rejecting you because your vote doesn't matter, right? It's the first sign of rejection, that you don't matter. That's the point. The same way that on YouTube I feel that my work doesn't matter. It's an automatic rejection if you don't matter anymore. But that's, again, the biggest lie ever told of like, how do we make people feel that they matter, but the actuality is that they don't matter? You know, how do we stop them and try to sell them something that will slow them down, basically, because they've chosen something. They give trust to the government and all that shit. And that will slow them down. That will make them less dangerous if we give them something to choose from, to make them feel that they're making a change, even collectively, and that the other party is now attacking them. It's like, oh my god, this is a waste of fucking time, bro. Don't vote, don't choose. You can listen to people, you can listen to what they have to say, but first of all, like, you don't want to be on opposite side, and again, you consuming hate because people think you deserve it. You're on the opposite side now. Of course you deserve hate now. It's fucking crazy. I mean, I bounced off really badly on this fucking, what is it? Eurovision thing. Like, it bothers me so much right now. Like, shitty song won Eurovision in my country. And, We failed in general. But we don't even feel that we failed. Because Eurovision sucks so bad. And it's like, bro, this whole voting system, it sucked me in. And I just don't see any significance in that. I vote by saving things, right? Save things to vote. So, everything I do on YouTube is a vote. It's a choice. It's a choice that I've made, and I had to make a choice. I had to make a choice of, like, what do I upload? Those kind of choices are way more important than whatever the fuck this is, right? And I can now choose to, like, all right, let's listen to Kamala, right? Just listen to her, see what happens. I am scared, however, because she sounds like a fucking lunatic, and I'm like, yeah, I guess I understand why people chose Trump. There was no real choice in the first place, and it cannot just. If there wasn't a choice, then what's the point, right? But now it feels like I'm trying to tear things apart. Like, if nothing matters there, what's the point? Well, you get to see the results and you get to adapt. Your focus is not on what to choose, but what is happening, right? Who is winning? I can still be upset about the winners, very much so, without the need to vote personally. I can't change anything, but I can be upset of, like, why did this guy win? You know? I don't have to accept it. I don't have to accept whoever wins. And collectively, people can still be stupid, right? Because you don't know if the voting system even works properly. Collectively, people can be stupid. Second to the meme, second to something simple. Meme is a simple thing. So I learned a lot about from just like Eurovision experience, and I encourage you to experience the whole thing. Not just the music, but the voting system as well, attached to it. Because it might give you just enough insight that you cannot vote. You can only react to what's going on. You can only rearrange for yourself of, like, what would you have decided if you could decide the winners, the losers, what would you have done? I am doing that, and it clarifies things a little bit more for me, right? Of, like, I would have done things a little bit differently. You collectively done this, but I would have done things differently, personally, right? And that just kind of builds your personality. This is the only part where you exist. You can't vote. Don't choose, all right? If you don't like the choices presented, you can say no. You got to learn to do that. You can say just no. No, I don't want to choose, to be honest. What did you vote for? Does it matter? I don't. I can't vote. I can't make a difference. That's the thing. That's the way to really start conversations, because I do get stuck on this thing as well. I also get stuck on, like, how are you doing? And it's a choice of, like, many things that I have to do, but the easiest choice is to say fine, right? But I can't choose that. That's a fucking rock. I can't choose fine. I can't just say, yeah, good. I'm doing good. But then there's no other choice, though. When someone asks you, how are you doing? You have two bad choices. And I don't know if people understand that how are you doing is the worst thing someone can say. That's people that you have to stay away from. And somehow it's like politics level bad. Why is that? How are you? Like, if I actually asked this question non-ironically, this would be the creepiest thing ever, first of all. Like, how are you doing, bro? How you doing? There is no way to assess the issue There's no satisfying answer that you can give. Most of the time, strangers ask this question, and it's like, what? It's also a conversation filler. So you know something has died, and it's not really working out right now. It is much more powerful to say, what are you doing? So there is an actual substitute, immediate substitute of like, what are you doing? What you doing, bro? That is actually so much more satisfying to say, right? What you doing? How are you doing? Is the stupid version of what you're doing. Be very careful, my friends. There's some things that are as bad as the voting system. Because it gives you an illusion of choice, but it puts you immediately in the worst position imaginable. So how you doing, bro? How you doing? You can also imagine that the most predatory thing is going to be asked all the time. If something makes you uncomfortable, perfect for the predators. How you doing is what a predator would say, because it makes you uncomfortable. It makes you start thinking of like, what? Is there an answer to the question? Yeah. They buy a lot of time, a lot of esteem from you when they get to ask that. And it is quite an interesting social experiment to just come up to people and say, how you doing? Because I'm sure shit is gonna go really hard. It's like asking, do you vote for Trump or Kamala? You're gonna get the same level of energy, bro. It's crazy, dude. And again, most of the time you can't vote. Most of the time people not gonna come to you and ask you to vote. Of like, do you choose this or that? We haven't decided as a society to do that, so we're not doing it. You can vote with your dollars. You can choose to buy something and hope that that made an impact. But sometimes you buy something and you have a product that you can recommend to other people. I'm seeing we was coming to an end right now. So that's the final one. Don't give them nothing principle. Obviously, like, haters don't deserve anything. Just take that shit away from them. Oh, you a hater? See you later. And sometimes you have to enforce it. Sometimes you have to kick them out because you're vulnerable and you don't want to deal with negativity. Kick them out. You don't have to give anyone your attention. You don't have to worry about drama necessarily. But there are way more important things. Don't give them would also mean the Tinder, right? So like you don't want to give them money first of all. And that nerves you a little bit. But then you're nerfed so much to the point where you don't have to give them nothing. Because you don't get anything in return. Don't give them, it's like, if it's not worth it, just move on. Why I put CEO in there? There's a lot of rich people who should get a bullet. You know? It might fix the world, I don't know. You can't eat the rich until they are unconscious. And how is the fastest way to make someone unconscious? And even if you go to prison as Luigi, people are gonna praise you, and you're gonna be able to sit in a humanitarian position where a lot of your friends get bailed out. Because now people have like money confidence. They can give you something because you didn't give the CEO ability to breathe one more 30 more years. Fuck you, CEO. You don't get to breathe anymore. All right? You don't get to breathe either. Don't give them. The bigger the evil, the less you should have a desire to give them. All right? The more they have, the less you should give them. If you're approached by a homeless man, like if you're approached by a drunk man, would you give them a hand to carry them home, basically. They will give you a home address. You have to double check. Maybe it's worth it. When I was a child, I was going to school, I saw a drunk man, and it's like, wow. I am capable of helping the guy, but eventually I just gave up. Right? Again, it is still a complicated issue, and not everything is stupid. It's not easy to detect stupid. The easiest thing is appreciation. That shit is like super easy to me. So I think this one is the most complicated one. Well, this one is like level 3 in complexity. Because you should be giving stuff on, putting stuff on social media, but you have it for yourself. That's what social media is. You own it. Most of the time, you own whatever you put up. Right? So you first have to own a lot of things to not give to other people. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. You own opinions, but you're not giving to other people. You own your privacy, you're not going outside, you're not giving nothing to other people because you don't fucking like them. You know, you don't give them a smile, don't give them nothing. If you don't like them, if you don't think it's worth it, you don't give them, bro. This will slow you down from panicking and losing sanity. That's the most important part. Because giving things away and feeling guilty of not giving enough to other people, that can sink your ship real fast. Even my dad made me guilty and got me in trouble. Well, I gave him the money. I'm technically the problem, you know? I didn't think this through. He asked me and it's just like, fucking, sure. Somehow, he deserved it in that particular moment until I realized it's just buying into a scam. It's fucking crazy. And I don't think I got my money back, my friends. Because the funny thing about scammers, like, I felt that there's a chain of scam going on. A chain scam. It's crazy, bro. To scam your own son, basically. But he just seemed to be scammed himself. So it's like, shit, what is actually going on? This is so weird. Now that I really think about it. But what's the weirdest part is that I gave that guy something. And he did not deserve that. It's not one of those moments of like, I will give it back to you. No. That doesn't fucking work. And he asked for more too, I believe. To the point where I have to treat my dad as a scammer. I can't give him good reputation anymore. No fucking way am I able to do that. And potentially that's just incredibly dangerous, and there's this attachment going on. Which, like, I can't, bro. This is insane. I let him in the home and he's scamming me, bro. He's smoking and drinking, bro. It's like, bro, holy shit. Is this disgusting? Imagine being a human being where everything you do is a fucking scam. Holy crap, is that insane to me. Just recognize that my dad was a scam. Imagine that. Imagine not having a dad, but having a scam instead. Now, what he allowed me to do is go to UK and find real support person. There are angels everywhere. So I didn't just collaborate with my dad. That would be a fucking suicide. But there was one more thing I was able to pull off, right? We found a friend. And we stuck with it for long enough until that shit collapsed, right? And the scam part was quite an important part. Like, I see these, like, fucking narcissists, they actually have no self-control. They want to scam other people so badly. It's unbelievable, dude. Narcissists are often scammers. You gotta be fucking careful with that shit. Holy crap. Because if their scam stakes even a little bit, damn, bro. Don't give them. Don't give them up. Like, I'm right now making a realization just because this needed clarity, and I got instant clarity. I just asked for it, and I received. And it's almost like devastating, bro. Of course my dad can be a scam. Of course he's gonna try and monetize all my good feelings toward him. All the hopes and dreams, basically. The real dad is someone else. You know, that's the funny thing. Someone else is my real dad, who is willing to give me, you know, just because he's not losing anything. If you have plenty, you can share with your friends. But the them is completely different thing. It's undefined. It's a lot of people who ask you for things, whether it's even employment or social pressure. There's a lot of people asking for free things, my friends. There's a lot of consumers out there. In other words, there's a lot of narcissism, and narcissism leads to scamming. That's brutal right there. Finally, let's unpack this bullshit now. I think we're ready. Like, just this episode alone just fucking gave me such clarity. I will appreciate it forever. The speed of knowledge, bro, to break through misconceptions. The way to avoid getting scammed is obviously, it's the money world. They are only concerned about money, these narcissists. You'll be able to smell that from a mile away. Just simply ask for money. These motherfuckers, they will cave in and be like, shit, now I have to make that tough choice. Make it between you and $100. If he doesn't want to give you $100, door slams and off you go, motherfucker. Let's scout stupid and call it a day.
Alec made it has on their menu. This box doesn't seem big enough for everything that Taco Bell has on their menu, but slightly different combinations. He taped it up good. Oh gosh. Well, I'm not gonna pick that up because it is crumbly AF.
So food comes in a box because it's so special, but it's crumbling and it probably serves very little amount of purpose. But what are we gonna get from this video? For 17 minutes?
I don't really know what's going on. So really? There's a Ziploc bag on the whatever's in here. And that's really the video. Maybe I'll tell you a little bit about our style.
Oh. Wow, ACMR again.
Okay. We're gonna need some water. And some Tito's.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna have to, but he may have texted me.
Very dry, boys.
I think that's a nice little treat, except for it's very dry. I guess these are breeder. This looks like a bean and cheese.
This got stupid really fast, guys. At this point, you should have stopped watching. But why not suck your soul in?
Oh man, there's gas, and that's boiling. And water, you know, you got the. This one's hard. Oh god.
Holy shit.
Okay, still good. Experiments you can do to prove this. But like, there's just like not a very low temperature. All right, moving on to ordering. That's fine. Like if it was the apocalypse and I had to eat this, I'd be happy. I'd be like, yeah, hunger is the finest spice. I can taste.
Yeah, just really quickly, it's probably a bad thing to ponder when it's a hard choice. If it's a hard choice to make, it's probably the wrong choice to make. That both choices are bad. Because most things in life are supposed to be simple when it comes to making choices. They have to be simple. That's the stuff that works. That's the stuff that's not scary.
Taco Bell. This is the best lunch I've had in ages. Not because it's good, but because it's entertaining. I'm having a cheesy beef and bean, maybe. It certainly has food in it. Then it so much pressure builds up that it does fusion.
Wait, did we just invented gravity? Isn't gravity just pressure? I think it absolutely is.
That's what it is.
I don't know, maybe this video wasn't as stupid as I thought it was.
You start to increase the temperature amount of energy from the container, and that keeps the taco cold. It's good.
Again, the stupid thing is that it's a very niche situation where you have to freeze dry your food. Maybe if you're doing camping, you want to get rid of all the water. But you still need to find a water source anyways. So, I don't know, man. This just, the whole thing is stupid because it has no purpose.
I don't know what this is. It looks just like a in the mouth during the process of chewing, which is largely an adaptation for plant-eating mammals. It has the same color. Now that I've seen what's happening in the back here, that's a little upsetting. I was saying that like maybe I could just grind this up and
I'm very
Make fun of
upset,
Bell's nice,
guys.
but in fact, startle, puddle, Sunday, moonwalk, earthworm.
I think these are connected.
No, the worm, yeah. Mushrooms aren't seen. Are mushrooms seen in the aftermath of a rainstorm? There were rainstorms. I mean, in Florida, I don't feel like that. There's a further discount if you click on the link in the description to get those underwear. And while you're there, check out all the other stuff at good.store.
It wasn't too bad, to be honest. If you ran it at really high speed. What was the speed?
Where there's many
1.5. That's the only way I survived this one. But in normal circumstances, I would be like, nah, that's probably stupid. I'm gonna move on. Now, would this actually put you in a never-ending loop of not finding things at all? Unfortunately, I'm already in that loop. My subscriptions are not good enough. I don't find good enough things to click on. And this was actually like the more smarter thing to click on. Everything else just feels icky, you know? And it's just, you learn a lot about YouTube, I'm not gonna lie. The ecosystem of like icky things to click on. You don't want to be a part of that, you know? You almost want to be very quickly recognizable, but at the same time, it's up for other people to figure that shit out, not me. I'm just providing value, guys. I'm not gonna solve every problem at the same time. It's crazy, right? Like, the clickability of your thumbnails is a big-ass problem that you have to think about every day. Thank you guys for watching.